Hello everybody, welcome back to Boba Bash Playoffs here. We're in losers round 3 for our double header tonight. Whoever wins this series will move on to another match at 10:30 EST. Whoever loses is eliminated from Boba Bash, will be 4th place overall, but we'll have to see how everything ultimately goes. It is Mask Wildcards versus their rivals Rozo Paradox. I'm Rhodes, joined with Rod today, and Rod, of course, you know both of these teams quite well. What are your thoughts heading into this first map of Pearl?
Yeah, I know both these teams really well. Paradox, my team. Mask, my former team. Can't say I've played with any of the Mask players, but I've played against them. I know that they definitely have some shooters, and it's a great team. However, on this
Got a new
Pearl
cut
map,
for you guys.
I will point out a little stat. Paradox has only dropped 15 rounds in 2 games on this map, so a very strong map for them. And I think, let's just have a great series and, may the best team win.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, the Paradox, they haven't dropped too many rounds on Pearl in general. So I'm intrigued to see if they can make Mask kind of squirm, because last time we saw them, I mean, yes, they were able to beat the team, but there is still that question mark from when they versed Ice Fishers before of can they perform again and can they potentially win more maps cleanly, because I mean it is just getting a bit dicey, especially against ATK, where ATK looks really good for most of it. So I'm intrigued to see what type of thing they come out of, as RPX, they come off of a clean 2-0 against Rozo Core, a lot of tournament favorites, a lot of tournament underdogs in general. So I'm just so intrigued to see how this series will ultimately play out.
Yeah, of course. Paradox, they've, had their struggles in the regular season, but they really seem to just turn it up in playoffs when it matters, you know? And Mask, kind of the opposite, has looked a little bit shaky, in the game against ATK. So I'm interesting to see, who will be on form today.
It is the big question, as the defense will be Masked. RPX starting on attack here. We'll see who can find this opening round. It means everything to get your team off to a good start. And for now, it looks like we're going to get a bit of a mid-B split to start everything off here for RPX. The question is, will they be able to find the picks they want? Because, I mean, they will want to be aggressive a bit. And with Fossey leading the helm here at the moment, such a scary player for this team to eventually have to fight. They're actually just going to make their way up, and this B site is already forfeited.
Yeah, Mask forfeiting this site. Lilac looking
Ooh.
in. Fozzie gets the pick. Good shot.
Not bad at all, and that's going to start Mask off very, very nicely. Of course, a lot of damage is done to their players, but I mean, still quite a bit of them, since they're still alive. I mean, you can find all the damage you want. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. As slowly we're going to see this team work themselves up, just try and find some angles around. They're going to spot some players in Hall, but won't be able to find any picks just yet. So they're going to continue to make themselves out. Is Volcarona going to look for the starting fights? They're going to look to push forward even further. Fossey will be able to find their second of the round, and this is just looking all Mask for now. Piff and Santi able to find a few, and what around here, or sorry, for RPX, my apologies, what around for them.
Yeah, I mean, very good post plant, right? They have all 4 halls, just fighting with each other, and Santi staying back B main, and, I don't want to say baiting his teammates, because, he still got the 2, but, just biding his time, waiting, and he finds the 2 picks there at the end to close out the round. Beautiful round from Paradox.
Yeah, and they're just able to find the picks they really wanted to find. They're really well done on stifling the defense, on being able to defend that B site in total. It just all went their ways. We're going to head to this next one, and unfortunately, Mask, they're going to call the wrong site. No one is going to be heading towards A. The attack should have a pretty free B, and I don't imagine they'll have too much difficulty taking it.
Yeah, I mean, Mask just says, B is a nothing burger here, and, lets Rozo Paradox have it. I'm interested to see how they will play the post plant. Will they play it again, the 4 back halls?
And it looks like they're going to be stuck here in alley for a bit. Santi with the headhunter just has such a good angle on it, but Volcarona going to scare them with those footsteps. Won't be able to find the pictures yet, but eventually Volcarona will fall, and this most likely will spell the end of the round. Nice kills there from Santi, as they're just trying to spill out the best they can. Santi just won't fall just yet, and it's just looking like another RPX win. A few more kills will drop out. Only a few members remaining will be able to find it, and only one member ultimately falls to Santi, but another clean round here for RPX.
Yeah, a clean round from Paradox. You know, obviously they're favored to win that round with the better buys, but still, you know, they showed just how fast this Neon comp can really be played and how you just take the site and it's sort of just over from there. They had good crossfires, they kept the back hall space, and I think Mask is going to look to try to keep that space a little more than they have been in these 2 rounds.
Yeah, I am intrigued to see how their gun round does go because they do have those weapons, and Super's going to have that Outlaw come into this. I do enjoy the Outlaw quite a bit, but Fossey actually pushing up super fast. What gets one shot is Amaterasu, and the player advantage is back into RPX's hands. Of course, still the gun advantage here for Mask, but will it be enough? Is Fossey pushing forward? Now has that Phantom that they picked up. Baby Daniel looking for the fight. Can't find a kill just yet and gets stunned up as well. RPX are coming out swinging. Can they find anything else? They're going to try and get this bomb down, but everyone is falling. It might be a flawless. Volcarona will be able to find one, but Drink Milk with the finale. Fossey starting that off, and then Santi with just being that good player. They're just able to find all the kills.
Wow, I mean, what a round from Paradox. Like I just mentioned, this Neon is so fast. He gets into art so fast. Volcarona doesn't even have, or sorry, Amaterasu doesn't have time to react to the Neon. Gets 200 pumped by the Bucky, and the round is just over from there. You give Fozzy a gun. He's just a shooter. Things like that will happen. You cannot give over first picks to this team because they have so many great players.
100%, and it's just going to really hurt Mass now. They're going to try a bit of a desperate play here up through B, but I just don't see them being able to do much of anything. But they are actually finding some trades back. You know, it isn't all bad, but still, it is just a bit of a weird position. They're going to just try and get out. It's a 2-for-2 for now, though, so I think they'll take that. But, of course, still no gun upgrades. But either way, some decent damage.
Yeah, I mean, some decent damage, decent shots with the Sheriff, you know, taking down ZRZ and Fozzy, a main superstar for Paradox, so we'll have to see how this round plays out. You know, being a superstar and a Neon, you know, they don't have their entry now, and B-site is sort of still stacked.
Yeah, I mean, this could get extremely interesting. It really depends how clean Amaterasu and Lilac can do here. Of course, they know that these attackers are still here. They hear that reload happening. Amaterasu has to go trade wheel. Spot out Piff. Won't be able to find a pick just yet, but will be able to find it eventually. Lilac, of course, will fall, but Amaterasu not done just yet. Santi will be able to find that pick. Again, though, even if this round isn't found, it is such a nice damaging one onto their eco, making things just put as much pressure as possible with Baby Daniel being last alive. Will be able to pick up a Sheriff at least to make things slightly more interesting. Of course, has the Bucky available if you're able to use that. But, I mean, with Santi's positioning here, this ego swing is just 100%. They are not giving up this space whatsoever. Drink Milk just going to continue being a bit of an annoyance and will eventually find the pick. Great round for Mats, but even better one now for RPX.
I mean, even though Mass found a lot of picks on their eco, right, we still have 2 players on RPX who are maxed, and so many of them have like 7k credits, 3k credits, 5k credits, that, you know, even though they found good damage, RPX is still able to get a full buy here, so it really doesn't make that much of an impact. But still a great round, good shots nonetheless. They had the read. It's just unfortunate that they didn't have the guns.
Yeah, and with the ultimate slowly starting to come up for RPX as well, they have a very good advantage coming into this round. We'll see how the defense does go, as Super will be set up towards this site, but with that potential tour de force available, with maybe even the overdrive here for Fossey, I mean, things could get extremely dicey for them, but we'll see. As on toward the mid area, Matarasu has to be careful. Is Santi able to catch it out? RPX start with another player advantage.
I mean, yeah. His nickname in, you know, from what I've heard, is Santi the Shooter. So, you know, you cannot just give him first picks like that in engagements because he will take your head off. It's an amazing player they have.
Fossey able to insert themselves up beside Hall and will be able to find one on the super. Trades going back and forth. Lilac finds a double, but nice shot from Milk. Continues the player advantage even though it was on an off angle. They're able to find the pick, and now it's all up to Baby Daniel once more in another player deficit scenario.
Yeah, another player deficit scenario. He still does have 3 stars to work with, and I Drink Milk is low. It's just, I don't know how it'll go. They still have KJ Molly's on the bomb, I believe. Not 100% certain on that, but I just don't see a way he wins this.
Yeah, I mean, Santi, like you said, the shooter, able to find that. 9-1 now on this chamber. Both of the duelists for RPX have their ultimates, but Lilac also picking up theirs, has that Waylay Convergent pass available for Mask, but unfortunately, they're going back onto an eco. It looks like Volcarona might be buying in, but it's 5-0 RPX. I mean, there's no stopping them, and Mask still have yet to call a timeout.
I mean, yeah, I pointed it out before the game started, only 15 rounds, and right now, Mask hasn't added any rounds to that. But let's see if they can do that here.
Looks like it's a bit more of a default for now for RPS. We'll see what they ultimately want to call, because, of course, B-Site has been their main conversion, and it is not looking like that way for now. Of course, Matarasi just sitting behind this box in gallery, and I mean, hey, we'll see if Mask can potentially find a few picks and maybe even the round in general as this round continues and we're slowly making our way towards A.
Portal closed.
Yeah, they're making their way towards A, gearing up for an A hit. They do have the Fatal on the side of RPX. They look to might be ripping it, and it's a little early if Zed chooses to use it, as they are regrouping back B main. I think it's going to be the Fatal hit.
Overdrive, though, for Fossey. Gets instantly shot down. That's the kill they needed. Piff, though, will be able to find a Nano Swarm kill. Finds a double on the round as well. A great start for them. And now Super needs to be able to find something here with Volcarona, but it's just so difficult. These players are just so annoying, but Volcarona will be able to find something through the wall. Picks up that Nightfall as well, and only actually hits one player, so they have an inkling that not everyone is here. What will they be able to do? Will they be able to upgrade these weapons? Will it be the question, but Super will fall. Lilac will be able to find one, but Santi's too clean with it, and now Lilac pushing forward. Finds I Drink Milk, but is it going to be enough against Santi? Santi has been so good this game, and now with 25 HP, what can you do? Can't find the kill. Just will be able to do it. It is an eco round win for Lilac, a triple on the round, and they save it for Mask.
I mean, what a round from Lilac. Finds 3 with the Sheriff and Marshall. And that's impressive to do, especially because he was in a 1v1 against Santi, who, as you mentioned, now 10-2, has been playing amazing this map. I just think it fell apart a little bit for Paradox. I mean, Piff was low as he was planting the bomb, was able to be spammed out by Volcarona from dugout, and the round sort of just, crumbled from there. And, Mass was able to pick up the scraps and win the round.
Yeah, and now they can just head to a buy round. They have 3 ultimates, the Paradox is 2. Of course, Piff is now 1 off of that lockdown, but either way, I mean, such a great round for them and such a big advantage. Unfortunately, though, now for Mass, they only have 1 player towards A. It is all alone for Baby Daniel on this A site for now. We'll see how they want to play, and it looks like they're playing quite aggressive into the smoke. Will get shot down quite a bit, but won't be able to find a kill until I Drink Milk runs right into them. Will get instantly traded, but a great start here for them as Fossey finds a double on the round. A nice kill from Volcarona. Won't be traded out just yet, as Piff is just a bit too slow for it. Eventually will be spotted out. Convergent pass will be used onto the site, but Piff able to find that. Can Lilac clutch out this round with Super? Will be able to find one in Super. It is now a 1v1 between these players, but Fossey runs out of ammo, I believe, and Super clutches out this round. Gets his first 3 kills of this game, and it's 2 rounds now for Mass.
I mean, Super, coming up Super there, showing why his name is Super. He's Superman. A little bit of rhymes for you guys, but beautiful round for Mass there. The retake was perfect. The Waylay ult was just beautiful from Lilac. It stunned, I believe, whoever was planting the bomb. I believe it was either I Drink Milk or Fozzie. I'm not 100% sure. And it sort of just allowed that person to just have to stay there and not be able to help their teammates as the retake was coming through. And it was just a beautiful round.
Yeah, I mean, 3 ultimates now in the hands for both teams, but that convergent pass from the Waylay hitting at least of 2 of the players there just really let Super do that business. As we're going to be getting a lockdown heading into this round. We'll see how Mask wants to play as their momentum is back and they're ready to get into this one. Volcarona so far just going to try and spray that out, but it is all a fake, and we'll get the defense off of this site, of course, but is that even going to be enough at this point? It does look like Mask, though, they are just fully committed to rotating off, but is the attack going to be fast enough to getting back over?
mean, yeah, with the Neon, they should be able to get B before anyone else is able to rotate over. Amaterasu is here. He might go for a hero play. It looks like he's just waiting back to play retake with his team. He has the Euro roll, does not want to give a pick over, but they still do have the chamber op, which can be dangerous in the hands of a guy like Santi.
It is so scary, and there is still an operator in the hands here of Waylay as well. I mean, we'll see if Lilac can even find anything with it. Lockdown will be countered out. Dimensional Drift will be used. These attackers are in trouble, and Lilac will be able to find the first. Can he find anything else? As Santi can't find one. ZRZ and Fossey are fighting back, but the trade's going back and forth. Will make it a 2 versus 2. What can these defenders do now to try and retake? But Santi with a nice pick will leave Baby Daniel all alone. And with this tour de force up and available, it's a double to end this round in the trades favor Paradox.
I mean, Santi, now 12-3. This guy has completely taken over the game, and you see why they put him on chamber. Beautiful shots with the op. He's able to play back, play his own game. And just an amazing player, as well as Fozzy and ZRZ fighting on site there. You know, as the KJO is going down on them, they are able to find two massive picks. And then it was just Santi and Piff to close out the round. It was still a great try from Mass. Did use 2 ults, however, though. That might hurt them a little bit in the following rounds.
Cosmic Divide still available here for Mass. Fossey has that overdrive backed up. Recently died with it, as Lilac just going to pull right back there. Find some damage, but won't be able to find much of anything else as this attack is heading towards his B site. It is going to be difficult to defend. Overdrive available. Fossey running through that Nano Swarm and will die to their own teammate. Fair enough there for Lilac, as it's going to be a 4v4 for the rest of the round. But remember, this is an eco here for Mask. It's so hard to do anything, but we have seen them try and find these gun upgrades before, and we'll see if it works as we continue in this round as this bomb is planted.
I mean, we've seen them win an eco before, right? That was their first round win. So I wonder if they can do it here. This one is going to be a little harder. It's planted on the B site, and they still have Astro Sock.
Yeah, we'll find Volcarona, though, to make it even harder. Your clone will actually be shot. ZRZ gets full flash, but finds the kill anyway. And it looks like they are now just looking for exits as Piff able to find Super. Baby Daniel on the flank. Of course, this can't be a flawless, but it is looking extremely nice for them. So much damage being done from Baby Daniel, but it'll all end up as a team ace. 7-2 is this game, and you mentioned this at the start of this map. Paradox, they're very good at Pearl, and it's really looking like it right now.
Yeah. I'm just wondering when Mass will use the timeout. I mean, I feel like it has to come sometime soon if you want to salvage this half, because it still could be a 7-5 if they end up winning these 3 rounds here in a row. The only problem is that, you know, Paradox has just been so good shooting their guns that it's so hard for Mass to find any opening at all.
Yeah, I'm unsure about what they're going to do at this point. Of course, the attack is going towards A this time. They have been more successful towards this area, but the main thing, just find these opening picks, and that is what Amaterasu is going to be looking at the start of this round. But Piff, too quick with it, and now with this Nightfall, Fossey pushing forward, spots out Lilac, will be able to find it. It's already a 3 versus 5, and yes, they're able to do damage mask, but they just cannot find these picks. Will it be enough, though? Will the damage overall be enough? Because Super has a lot of friends coming towards them. Will be able to find one. Will take a bit more damage and fall off. At 3 versus 4, a bit more manageable. But it looks like there might be some more isolated fights. But just here's this player all around them. Just what can you do as Super? It is just feeling so impossible. Volcarona with this judge has some help from the Astro, but picks the wrong angle. It is all up to Baby Daniel. We've said this so many times before. Finds a nice shot, though, but I Drink Milk will be drinking their way to victory in this round. It's 8-2.
Yeah, I mean, Santi chooses his timing to wrap through main, gets a Magnus Lurk off, beautifully executed. Zed holds the art space for him, and ultimately, it's a round win for Paradox, and, you know, they had to invest the Fatal, but that doesn't matter to them, as it's now 8-2, although on the side of Mass, they are coming up to the Waylay ult and the Fatal, so I wonder how those will be used, maybe in conjunction together. We'll have to see.
And they've had this Cosmic Divide available for Baby Daniel for so long, but since they never go to the Astra site, it feels like just never used. So Amaterasu in a bit of trouble here, of course, has that teleport, but won't be able to get out, uses it so late, and now it's already a 4 versus 5. Like I keep mentioning, these first bloods matter so much. but will it be enough this time? Volcarona in a great place, won't be shot out, will find a double on the round and give their team a chance. Another judge available, won't be able to find a pick, as Volcarona now on 1 HP and a dream will give their team this availability. Eventually will fall. Nice nano from Piff. This bomb is isolated towards the site, but it's a 2 versus 3. It is still very hard to play, but Lilac and Baby Daniel, what can they do?
Yeah, with a minute left, this wall was used very early. Paradox can sort of just wait this out. It has to be some clean shots from Lilac and Baby Daniel if they want to win this round out. Of course, they do have 3 stars left. Paradox is kind of dry, bare bones on their util, so I wonder what they'll do.
A lot of isolated 1v1s. This is very playable for Mask here. Can they find the right angle, though? Piff will be the first to fall. Will draw their attention away. And Baby Daniel with the double will win it for Mask. A great play there from the 2 top frags of Mask. And Brimstone, thumbs up to you. It's 8-3, and they played that as perfectly as you can.
Yeah, I mean, just a beautifully played around from Mask. Paradox used a lot of their util onto the hit, so they didn't really have anything as they got stalled out. So Baby Daniel G and Lilac were just able to play the crossfire. Baby Daniel G peeks off Lilac perfectly, finds 2, and it's just a round that Mask wins off, shooters. That's how I feel like they got to win this game.
I mean, they need to do quite a bit more shooting if they are going to need a chance. It's 8-3 and won't be able to find the first blood is Lilac, but at least they're able to get out cleanly this time as the attack's slowly making their way down B. Of course, there is a slow flanker towards A, but it looks like they're going to rotate back over. We're going fast now. Fossey heading here into Halls, but gets one shot by Amaterasu. It is a great start here for Mask, and it looks like we're just calling it right back. This Cosmic Divide will find absolutely nothing but pain.
Yeah, and you see here, Volcarona is still A with an Odin. That can do a lot of serious damage in the hands of a Fade. Scan and shoot through smokes, wall bang, stuff like that, only her and Fade can really do, or her and Sova, excuse me, can really do with that Odin. So very dangerous for Paradox to run into.
Well, this round is not over yet. The attack still to ultimately come as Piff making their way slowly up into the defender spawn can make things so interesting. As Chamber also on this slow take towards the A area. Of course, they do know that there's potentially someone coming as Super is in a bit of trouble now. Will fall, will even up the numbers, but will it matter? What can this defense do? Of course, like we mentioned, Volcarona, Odin with the fade, will get instantly shot down, and will fall. The bomb will not be planted. Gets retraded back anyway, though, by Materasu with the Bucky. You're going to try and make things interesting, but Santi is too clean with it, and will be saved and will be watched. It's Lilac all alone in a 1 versus 3 RPX fight back in a player deficit. But this round may not be over. I Drink Milk will spot Lilac, so they know where this waylay is potentially. But unfortunately, with Lilac trying to take this dirt area, there is a tour de force operator staring down your sight. It's a triple for Santi on the round. 19-5-1 is his score in the first half.
I mean, you have to find, if you're Mask, you have to find a way to shut him down. Just an amazing shot with the flick, and then he just has the op there, able to hold it down. You don't, want to let him get on the op if you are Mask, and if he does, you have to find a way to shut him down, either avoid him or just util dump him, because he is so good right now, so clean, as well as all of Paradox. All of them are playing very well right now, and it just feels like Mask just has, nowhere to go, nothing to do. They're just very, they're just not able to get into spots where they want to play their game.
Yeah, and I wonder if the spots they will be able to find now will be on their attack, where they're trying to turn the tables onto RPX. Of course, we'll see if it does happen, as 3 players of this defense try to get aggressive towards bend of A. Won't be able to find anything just yet, and they'll re-put their aggression now towards mid. What will they like to call? And it looks like B-site might be the hit here, unless we go a bit of connector shenanigans. But no, we're heading towards B. What can 2 of these players look to defend? Because they're actually playing quite far up. Will get hit by that waylay stun. We'll see how much damage it ultimately does. They're still not cleared out just yet. Lilac gonna push forward. No kills just found, but Super will be able to find the first, and a great start here from Mask. They're able to find both of those defenders with a lot of whiffs, but it's a 3 versus 5 now.
Yeah, I mean, Mask, excuse me, shows a beautiful round there. Obviously, the double duelist is going to be favored on attack, so this is kind of, you know, a position where they want to be in, you know, is on attack. But the retake is coming in here.
Yeah, and Super and Amaterasu gonna finish that one off, and this is a huge start for them, especially Amaterasu. A very slow start in this game, but picking up a triple on the second half on your pistol round, that can really get you going, and I really want to see if this duelist can really give their team a chance and get back into that momentum series. As, I mean, yeah, it's 9-3 half, but this game is not over by a long shot, and winning this anti-eco is how you start that off.
No, it's not, and confidence goes a long way. Just getting 3 allows you to have a lot more confidence in yourself and your aim, and will allow you to take, you know, fights that you might not have won before.
100%, as it looks like the attack is looking to go down through B. The defense hears all of this, but, I mean, we have seen this before, but in the Paradox's hands, it is going to be quite hard to defend. A lot of blinds come out as a lot of classic shots are being put out, but the trades so far are gonna be even, as it's gonna be a 3 versus 3, but on the slow flank is Super. Hopefully can potentially give this round to Mask. Of course, we'll be able to find one. We'll be able to find second as there a one shot. A good start here for Mask. They take quite a bit of damage though, as Santi has actually quite a decent chance at this attack here.
Yeah, it's just Santi left. The bomb is planted in a great position for Mask, but Santi has pulled out some magician tricks so far this map. Let's see if he can do it again.
Lilac looking for the fight, but the headhunter cannot find it. Lilac will pick up those shots and will win this round ultimately for Mask. Again, they took quite a bit of damage, but they're able to find it and continue their momentum. Now, what happens here will be quite interesting. Can we see another bonus round 1 in this map, or can we see RPX retake their momentum back, maybe cleanly, maybe a bit harsher? Either way, can they get a round up, make it 10-5, and make it that slightly much harder here for Mass to come back into this? We'll see, as this 9-5 round will start to go, as it looks like the attack looking to be aggressive again, but the defense, they don't want to give up the space towards Alley, and this could get interesting.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a brawl here towards Alley.
No kill just yet. A lot of utility though will be used, but for at 0 shots hitting anybody, that's a bit of an interesting trade.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just a lot of util use, no shots landing, not much you can do there.
Slowly, these teams are looking to now make their way towards this A site. We did see the Fade actually rotate slightly off of it, so Mask will be able to take this cleaner, and this is actually kind of best case scenario for them, how cleanly they were able to take the site. But I Drink Milk will start it off nicely on their slow retake. That this will be 3 players though are playing through a main bend, and that's going to make things slightly harder for them overall. Of course, we'll see what Lilac can do. Now spotted out and will be taken down. What a shot from I Drink Milk, as this slow flank here from Volcarona really has to be that win condition. Might get caught out by I Drink Milk. Has been so good in this round. Gets the bomb the half, but I just don't know what these players can do. It's a flawless retake here, and it's all on the back of the Astra.
And I Drink Milk coming out there with the 3K. He was just so aware of Volcarona's wrap. He was so aware of Lilac's position. He looked like he was just, you know, that's not much you can do for Mass there. He just had himself around. He was prepared for everything, and it was just a beautiful round and a beautiful retake from Paradox. I did like the idea for Mass taking Art fast and getting the site. It's just they lost their gunfights. You know, that's gonna happen when you have the worst guns.
Yeah, a bit harder for them there, but of course they have weapons coming into this. It's going to be 5v5 in weapons. This is where things get a bit spicy overall, because I mean, Paradox won that cleanly. They're able to just have so much weaponry coming into this round. It's going to make Mask attack just extremely difficult, as Santi actually will be spotted out and will have to teleport, but will that be enough? Drink Milk finds a huge double, and they're just finding everything. Astra with a crazy round. That's a clean quadra here for the Milker.
mean, I drink milk. What? 2 rounds back to back, 7 kills, jumps himself up 2 second frag tied with Bozzy, and gives himself the Astra ult, excuse me. Just beautiful. I mean, it was the crossfire that him and Santi had. Mask was able to find out Santine where he was located, but just completely did not notice I drink milk, and he was able to get 4. A beautiful hold from Paradox, and now Mask on an eco.
I mean, we saw this in the first half too. In that 2 versus 3 on their attack when they're trying to defend or when on their defense, and yeah, yeah, it was on their attack, and they're just able to play off each other, and they kind of did it again there, which just really worked out overall. Of course, we'll see if they can continue that teamwork. As Mask on this eco, a lot of sheriffs in the hands for them as they're looking to potentially attack this art area. They have to be a bit worried here, RPX, because they're in a bit of nowhere overall, but it looks like they're going to stifle Mask for now, and they're going to make their way back towards the other area and kind of hassle Milk. But with how good Milk has been as well, I mean, all these areas just seem so hard to really try to attack from.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of util used there on the art fight, so I'm interested to see how this round will play out for Mask and Paradox.
ZRZ spam down the high health, but will stay alive as Mask might be picking this A site now. Drink Milk hears all of this currently happening. Smokes are everywhere as well. The Haunt is going to be available to use. We'll see what kind of picks are going to be able to happen, though, as I Drink Milk once again on the flank. We'll be able to find 3 on the round, and it's all up to Lilac once more. It's another flawless in a row as Milk now with, I believe, 10 kills in the last 3 rounds.
Yes, 10 kills in the last 3 rounds has completely taken over this game, and that is a dangerous sign to come if you are a Mask, because we already talked about how Santi had taken over this game. Of course, 19 in 1/2, and now Milk 10 in just 3 rounds. They have some shooters here on the side of Paradox. And Mask they just look a little lost. They bounced around between going through Street and Art and made it onto the A side, and they just got gunned down.
Yeah, we'll see if any more gun down does happen as Santi with the operator gonna start us off strong again. This is match point here for this map pick of Pearl. Of course, this is Paradox's map pick, so in a way you can't be too surprised at the result, but there are not much resiliency we have seen from the wild cards just yet, and Santi gonna continue with that dominance. A 3 versus 5 as this looks like a GG go next. Of course, this series is far from over, but what will we be able to see here from the last 3 members remaining? It's Baby Daniel, it's Super, it's Volcarona. What can you show us at the end of this potential last round here? A nice start for Baby Daniel, finds that first pick, but is it going to be enough? 3 players going to try and march out of alley. Volcarona in a bit of trouble, gets caught, and that is going to potentially mean the end of this one. Fossey going to try and clear the rest of the site. Cosmic Divide will be used. Super will be caught on the other side of it, but will they be paying attention? Super will find 2. Is it going to be enough, though? It's all up to Baby Daniel. Finds another, but Piff ends this map pick. We are heading the bind.
Wow, another dominant Pearl from Roseau Paradox. Sounds like a broken record at this point. These guys are so good at this map, and I'd be scared if I was Ice Fishers now.
I mean, hey, we still have another map before we get to talk about that. Either way, I'm very excited to see what both these teams come out on bind, but Mask, what will you be able to do will be the question. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Alrighty, welcome back here to Boba Bash Losers, round number 3. It is Masked Wildcards, it is Rozo Paradoxes. In that first map, it was an absolute stomp. Rozo Paradox really brought it to Masked Wildcards, winning 13-5 on their map pick as we're heading to map number 2, which will be the map pick here of Mask. So will they be able to rally back will be the question. I'm Rhodes, joined with Rod. Rod, what is your thoughts heading into map number 2 after that whooping?
I mean, yeah, obviously momentum on the side of Rozo Paradox, but still, this is mass picks. They're obviously, very comfortable on it if they're ready to pick it. And, I think this should be a much closer game, at least from what I know of about, both teams' bind. Uh, I think that, we'll just have a good game here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite interesting as these locks look to come in. And will we be getting a harbor here from Baby Dano? Maybe teasing us a tiny bit. I mean, saw it yesterday. A triple controller composition came out on Bind for B3, and that ended up winning. So I wonder if we'll get something slightly similar. But no, we're doing boring mirror matchup. Wah, wah.
Yeah, I mean, the mirror matchup, a little boring. At least it's not a very basic bind comp. There's a little bit of spice with the Yoru, so I'm interested to see how that will play out for both teams. Amaterasu played the Yoru last map, didn't really find as much value as you think he would, so I'm interested to see maybe if he can turn it up a little bit here on bind.
Yeah, and once again, it is going to be the defense here, starting from Mask, the attack for RPX. Of course, if they are able to force a map number 3, it'll be the same starting positions as before, but I'll mention it anyway. If that does end up happening, both these teams have been able to win a pistol round so far, but RPX really were the team last game to push that boundary of winning a pistol, and then winning their bonus, and then winning 5 in a row until they were stifled for a hot second, but either way, the round and the map was kind of over after that dominance.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a big B fight here coming out round 1. Let's just see how the trades will go.
I apologize for my observing before this round even starts, as they're actually just going to be double teleporting through. A very aggressive start here for the defense, but that's not where all the attack will be coming from. Mask will be fighting back, and it's going to be a double here for Super. To start the round, they have the bomb as well. A brilliant opportunity now for this defense to win it ultimately. They're going to get those teleports. I mean, Piff is in a world of trouble, needs some help, and Amaterasu on the site able to find a bit as well. It is all up to Santi, and I just don't think you're going to be able to do much here. A great collapse in Hookah, and this should spell the end of the round. It's a 1 versus 3 now for Santi, able to find Amaterasu, so the Yoru on Yoru combat goes their way, but like, what are you supposed to do here? 56 seconds left, has to jump into Hookah if you're going to be able to do this. Of course, a lot of ones are actually being taken. This is actually doable because you can just glide towards the right side of this area and we'll be able to find the first and then trade onto the second, but Volcarona this time will have a good start and finish that off. It's a double for them.
I mean, yeah, Santi looking very dangerous, carrying over the form from map 1. And, he's done some crazy things, but I think that's would have been the craziest thing he's done in this series so far. But nonetheless, Pistol going the way of Mask. A beautiful trap setup they had in Hookah, and it kind of threw the attackers off. They thought it was going to be, a full A showers sort of fight, but the two players Hookah were able just to find those picks, get the bomb, and it was from there just snowballed.
Yeah, and I wonder if they will be able to win this anti-eco cleanly now. We'll see how it does end up going, as a lot of players are going to be playing Garden. The attack, 3 players are going to be looking to push this area. Lilac in a great position, will be able to find a clean double. Bossy will fall as well. That is a nice triple to start us off with the fade, and that is exactly the start Lilac wants in this game, and we'll get that showstopper slowly coming online. Of course, Super will be able to find another, and it's all up to Piff. Able to grab that orb, which should have been heard on that last proc, so a great round overall, though, for Mask.
Yeah, I mean, Mask just has the better guns, holds long, and Paradox just runs into the crosshair of Lilac. Easy 3K for him. Nonetheless, still a 3K, though, and working his way towards that showstopper. A beautiful round for Mask, set up perfectly.
And I just don't see Piff winning this one. So the question is now, with these 5 weapons available, assuming Piff isn't able to get anything, I mean, this bonus opportunity is just so high. This opportunity in general, just be able to find a potential multi-round lead, is just very intriguing to me overall. But hey, we will see how everything is going to get set in stone. I think Piff really does want to potentially try and get this orb, and we'll be able to get it. So the Viper's Pit eventually could come online, but will die here to the judge of Baby Daniel. It's a flawless round as they're able to pick this one up. And hey, ultimates can slowly start getting on the board for both these teams, but 2 rounds right now for Mask will make things interesting.
Yeah, and it's some pretty heavy hitters on the side of Mask guns-wise. You have a Guardian, a Judge, an Outlaw, and a Bulldog. So it's not just, Ghosts and, Specters and Stingers that they're bringing into this round. They're bringing in some firepower, and it's going to be an interesting round for Mask and Paradox to see how they both play it.
Yeah, for sure. And it all starts with what these people do on A. The double satchel won't really work out for Lilac to start the round, but of course, I mean, it really doesn't matter. They're just able to make space. They know it is an A hit now. Fossey has to be careful. Their gun is spotted by Super and won't find the shot just yet. Tiff going to push forward and will fall. Super with a nice one to start this round up. Will get some actual help from Volcarona. And now it's a 3 versus 5. The attack is crumbling against this defense, and we'll see what the rest of the team can do. Is ZRZ now going to push out by themselves? Might get caught here by Amaterasu. Won't die just yet, but will eventually fall in general. It is a flawless round for Mask as RPX crumble at their hands.
Yeah. I mentioned how they were bringing in some heavy guns, and they use those to good use. The Guardian was able to find the opening pick onto Pip, and from there it was just snowballed. They played with each other perfectly on back sight and into U-Haul, and it was just a beautifully executed round for Mask.
Yeah, and I wonder now what Mask will be able to pull out of their pockets, because now their economy is going to be maxed out after this round, assuming it is another clean one here. 3 Stingers and 2 Sheriffs are now in the hands of this attack, but it's just so difficult for them to play. This Boombot's going to be able to spot out quite a bit as well, just to get so much knowledge on these members, and they're actually just going to try and force out here. This Judge for Baby Daniel is going to have so much impact. We'll be able to find one. Lilac able to find another, as that very interesting smoke, I would say, here from Brimstone will stifle this attack for now. But besides that, it's another 3v5, and we might be heading our way to another flawless.
Yeah, I believe he did miss his smoke. I believe he wanted to get on top of the box, but nonetheless, they just went straight into the Judge, and now the Outlaw.
The Outlaw is not a very nice human being. It will hurt you right where it hurts, if I speak correctly. As Fossey, in a bit of pain, just has to slither their way around this map. But I mean, you have to die. You need to get this econ so you can bind to the next round. So we'll see how they do eventually fall. But hey, maybe if you're able to get a pick, you can make it slightly interesting. But with 30 seconds left, this round's over.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, I would agree. Fossey, great player. I don't know how great he can be here. And I believe you said the Outlaw, not a very nice human being. I don't believe he's a human being at all. I'll have to check on that one, though.
Hey, Outlaws have the mind of their own sometimes. They're actually sentient being if you ever played High on Life. It's actually one of those types of weapons. As we're getting our first timeout of the series, it is going to be for RPX. So I wonder what they're going to call it, because Mask, when they were getting absolutely melted and blasted down, they actually never called a timeout. But Paradox will come to their senses and try and figure out what to do, because only 3 players have kills. There's 2 on Santi, 1 on I Drink Milk, and it's 4-0 in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Paradox it looks like everywhere they go, there's always just 2 players there ready and waiting for them. And in that last round, they tried something interesting where they just ran into U-Haul, but no one seemed to follow Piff up. It was kind of just him solo, and he got, shot down by the Judge. It was a weird round, obviously, because of the ego. But for Paradox, I mean, I feel like you have to use the fact that you can fast hit with this Yoru and Raze, and also they are 1 away from the Yoru ult, so I feel like you have to use both of those to your advantage to try to win this round.
Yeah, they need to be able to find anything, really, any advantage possible. Yeah, I feel it does start with that Yoru ult, but the Dimensional Drift being able to scout out the entire site really helps how they have been currently playing, where they just cannot win these one-on-ones. They can't really flush out the defenders that have been defending so far, and with that Dimensional Drift, you have all the knowledge available and in your pocket to use, but right now, it doesn't seem like they are playing for an orb, so... Oh, actually, no. Okay, they will be actually going towards A, but with this Brim Smoke, it just makes things so annoying for them. And this Odin able to find Santi, so it doesn't even matter. A great start for them, but Fossey able to find trade over on the other side. The operator from Amaterasu is actually going to be brought out in this round. Shoots a few Seekers, but won't be able to find anything else. Besides that, it's going to be Piff pushing so far deep into this A site. Of course, there is still another Viper lurking that they don't know about. Super has to be careful here and will get taken down. It's a free A site, and this is the best looking round we've seen from Paradox yet.
Yeah, beautiful lurk from Piff. I thought maybe he'd go into CT and run past Super, who is U-Haul. But he goes back and checks U-Haul and is able to find a pick and open up the round for Rosso Paradox.
Spike planted.
As we look to continue here, I wonder if Mask can pull out a blinder of a round and really clutch up, but it's going to be difficult. They have an operator retaking, which I've said so many times in the past is just such a bad thing to try to retake with. But we'll see as they're pushing now into U-Haul, looking for these fights. We'll be able to find one, but Piff finds a double on the round. And every time I see an operator bot, I hope for its downfall, and it happens right there. They lose a lot of economy. But, I mean, who really cares? They're maxed out anyway. And they lose their first round of this game. Piff and Santi now with some ultimates available, and a lot of them coming up for both of these teams very soon. This could get very messy.
Yeah, I mean, it was very similar to how Mask won their first round last map, you know. And I think that now, you know, if things go the same way, there should be a little momentum swing. But I think Mask should be able to stabilize. You know, they still have a lot of good guns. As Santi's on a Bucky this round. Watch out for that.
Yeah, and the operator is actually going to be a rebuy here by Materasu as well, so I'm intrigued to see how that does end up going. The Dimensional Drift will be used very early here. We'll spot out this operator too, so Fossey's still deciding to jump peek it. Santi gonna look for the pick with the Bucky, won't be able to find it, and that is -1 player already. Showstopper now used on site. Fossey can't find a pick, and now these players are just loose on it. Won't be able to find any pictures yet. ZRZ will eventually be able to find one. Another one for ZRZ, making a 3 versus 3. A lot of damage done to the players, but not yet will they have anything else to do. And they will actually commit the bomb, surprisingly. They have that flank once more from the Viper, so we'll see how it's able to find any damage whatsoever. Baby Daniel continuing to just spray and pray. Will be able to find one as Piff on this flank. Super has to be a bit careful now. Materasu once again with this operator will be able to find one this time. Super will be able to link up with their teammate. Can't find a upgraded gun to try and help on this just yet. ZRZ has to be careful. One off that Nightfall, won't be able to find anything with it. And now these players know that both of them are playing on the site. Will be able to find another. It's a Materasu, but Piff in a perfect position will finish this round out. ZRZ really saving this round after a lot of whiffed ultimates from RPX, not PRX.
Yeah, I mean, ZRZ comes up for the savior of RPX, able to find 3 in that round, and he now has the Nightfall lead. Yes, he does have the Nightfall, so interesting to see how that will be used. And Piff again with another beautiful lurk up through showers. If I was Mask, I'd start putting a little more emphasis towards this, because you can't just let him get up through all of A site and kill your players again.
And now with both of those operator by and all the economy gone, it just leaves Amaterasu with an outlaw heading into this round, which is a lot weaker than before. As Fossey pushes in the sour double satchel. Good night. What a kill there from the Rays to start us off. On the other side of the map, we're going to see Piff doing it again, but actually gets spotted by Super and will hopefully find the pick here. That was a bit of a whiff shot. Won't be able to find just yet, and reloads him mid-sight while jumping around. Somehow Piff and Super both stay alive in their respective areas. It's a great start out of the way here for RPX as Lilac gets caught. Unfortunate. And that's going to just cause the retake back over towards this A side. The defense will be here. Amaterasu still with that outlaw, looking to try and play devil's advocate into this next round. We'll see what the Euro can potentially find, because of course there is a good old Santi over here that is in a bit of death's door. Volcarona now pressured towards the site. No kill just yet, but it's still a 5 versus 3. The Outlaw will whip both of its shots. The shots just continuously going back and forth. Everyone just looking to try and find a fight somewhere. ZRZ will eventually find Volcarona, and this should spell the end of this round for Mask. They're pushing off of a flash. We'll be able to find one as super, but can't find enough. It's a 1 versus 3 now for Matarasu. Santi is going to be 1 HP for the Outlaw to kill, but it just does not matter. It is a nice round here for RPX. They've won 3 in a row.
Yeah, swinging the momentum into their favor. This is exactly what you needed to see if you want RPX to win this game, or if you are RPX, because it was looking a little dangerous. 4 rounds in a row for Mask, but now 3 rounds in a row for them, and we are going to see full buys out of both teams, and what looks to be the Viper Pit on the side of Mask used. So I'm interested to see how RPX will play around that.
Yeah, it's going to be very intriguing to see how everything goes. And we are going to see that Viper's Pit popped here for Super on this ace site. Not something you usually see. It's usually spent towards more of the garden area, but it's still going to be worth it. As Amaterasu actually falls in showers. My apologies, I was not paying attention. And we'll see what Baby Daniel can potentially find. Pushed out a bit far. Doesn't get spotted out for now, at least. So they will continue having that element of surprise, as somehow these players are just not falling down. It's going to be a rotate over towards A.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a weird Viper's Pit. Even if it is utilized A short, it's usually utilized deeper into A short. So a little bit of a maybe blunder from here, because it kind of just gave them a pick towards showers. And it still gives them A short space. So I think Paradox should have, you know, a better time closing out this round. Up a man advantage.
We will definitely find out here. Of course, 1 sheriff in the hand of Baby Daniel. The rest are rifles, and I'm intrigued to see how RPS wants to play the rest of this round. Orbital Strike is available. They kind of have an inkling they could use this somewhere, but unfortunately, it is not going to be an A hit. They are coming towards B, and Lilac is in a world of hurt. Many ultimates to use for RPX. Will they look to expend any of them to get onto the site is the question. The Haunt will look to come out. Santi looking for the fight will fall, but ZRZ able to find the pick anyway, and a interesting orbital strike will eventually flush everything else out. Baby Daniel now can trade his. Won't be able to find a pick, just delaying the bomb, and that actually is going to be enough. Just close. Can they really defend this one off? It seems like they will be able to get the spike down, and in a bit of a rushed one. The orbital strike so close to losing this round, but RPX is now 1 versus 3 with Super. A very good Viper's Pit, just making this so impossible for the Viper to try to win this one, but we'll see if Superman can come back out and play. But no, Piff will pick up a triple, and in a spicy round that is impossible to observe, is going to make this a tie game.
I mean, Fozzie gets the bomb down with, I believe, what was which was 0.03 seconds. So, you know, just that little bit longer, and Mass takes the round, but it is the 4th round in a row for this side of RPX, and a lot of ults invested in that round. 2 Viper's Pit and 2 Brim ults invested for, you know, each side. So, you know, they still all have a lot of ults on the board for both teams.
Yeah,
nonetheless.
I mean, Showstopper and Nightfall here for Volcarona and Lilac can be so huge, but unfortunately, they're on the other side of the map, and we're going to see it out of Fossey. Finds Amaterasu. They're able to get onto the site for free. Super not cleared out, but unfortunately has a judge in a mid-range combat and will fall. It's a 5 versus 3 favoring Paradox once more, and it is just not looking pretty. Piff will be able to pick up this judge, and Volcarona in a world of hurt now will fall. Nothing they can do. Fossey able even to go for some headhunting, at least Lilac in a 1 versus 5. It is the first flawless, I believe, for for RPX this map. But either way, a great round again, and Piff actually has a 2.0 KD now on the Viper, going 10-5-1.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it last map. Santi was the one that took over. As Mass uses a timeout, we didn't see this last map, but now it is Piff who's taken over on this map for the side of Paradox. You got to find a way to shut him down. Like I said last map, you got to find a way to shut Santi down. Now you got to find a way to shut Piff down.
once again, in a way as well, it kind of feels like it's the scaredness of using your utility. Mask have definitely been a bit more reserved in using these ultimates, while we see RPX so far really letting them rip, and that is one of the reasons they're able to find these rounds. Like Fossey just satcheling over, able to find Matarasu, just opens up the site. Meanwhile, on the retake, they didn't even use their Nightfall. They didn't even use their Showstopper. They didn't really try to win it. They just tried to do it through pure force and just through pure fighting. So I wonder if we see something different in these future rounds. As Mask are going to have an interesting buy coming into this, because I don't believe they can have 5 rifles coming into it.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the first time this map, I believe, that they won't have 5 rifles. Maybe one time they didn't because of the judge buys, but I think they still could have bought a rifle even when they had their judges. But Rozo Paradox has now taken 5 rounds in a row. Huge momentum swing. It was looking like Mass was going to dominate this map. Now Paradox is swinging it back into their favor, and you got to see Mass use these ults this round, I think.
I just know if my mic was muted. um, as the showstopper actually gonna be used here for Lilac, as my whole everything I just said unfortunately just did not happen anymore. Baby Daniel will be able to start us off. Santi will be able to find the trade. On the other side though, Super finds I Drink Milk. That lurk won't be able to work this time around, as they're slowly now gonna have to look to fight through showers. ZRZ does get spotted. It's gonna be a 2 versus 2 towards this area, but there is a flank here from Santi. Won't be able to find the pick. Yeah, finds a double afterwards. It's 5 on the round for Santi. Volcarona now has to try and fight back. We'll be getting help very soon from Super, but will Superman be able to save this round enough? Because it's a 4K on the round here for Santi. A bit of a back and forth one in general, as ZRZ finishes it off. It is now 6 in a row for Paradox.
A 4K for Santi, turning back the clock to last map. You cannot let this guy get going. As we saw last map, completely took it over. And, you know, they do end up using the showstopper on the side of Mass that round, which I like to see. You know, I want them to use their ult a little bit more. You know, they seem to be holding onto them just a little bit too much, but they still couldn't even find the round with that, as now they're on a little bit of a weird buy here. A Judge, a Guardian coming out. Are they buying? Are they saving? It looks to be buying.
Yeah, they are just trying to do anything they can at this point. They still have that Nightfall. The Nightfall has been available for so long, it feels like, for Volcarona. Just still has not found the right opportunity for themselves in general to use it, as we're going to see when or if it will be used into this half. 3 players are trying to defend. We see Baby Daniel here with the Ares, just trying to shoot through these walls, but for now, the attack will slowly make their way up through showers and try to make their way into this A site.
Yeah, looks to be more of an A-sided default coming out from Paradox, as they use the Yoru and Fade Ult here, looking to just run down these players into backside maybe. As Paradox looks to have the site and the bomb planted.
Nightfall used Dimensional Drift, used Santi, will be able to find the first through the smoke. Amaterasu has to be a bit careful as they're getting pressured so hard right now. The snake bite being so annoying. So much damage, though, done to every single member in this round. Will it be enough for them to fight back? But Fossey will be able to find another with I Drink Milk. Super gets taken down, and Baby Daniel, 67 HP in a dream, gets shortied to death. It is Piff, actually, finding that pick. Either way, it is another round here for Paradox. That's 7 in a row. They have yet to draw a loss after their original timeout, and it is showing.
Yeah, I mean, whatever they said in that timeout, I believe Piff is their IGL. Whatever Piff said in that timeout must have done wonders for them. 7 rounds in a row. And again, we mentioned Volcarona still yet to use the Nightfall. It has to come out here because, you know, it's the final round of the half. But I think if they used it, a few rounds earlier, they might have swung something back in their favor.
Mass looking to be aggressive here with these Sorcerer weaponry. They're going to hear all of this coming through. And RPX, they have to be careful. They are being bum rushed right now as these fights will slowly start to happen. Volcarona still has this ultimate available, and they're just going to look to push forward. Full flash will hit, but Lilac can't find the kill, and this should spell the end of the round here for Mass. Volcarona tries to pick up the upgraded weapon, but unfortunately ZRZ is too clean with it. It's a triple in the round. It's 8-4. It's 8 in a row.
Switching sides.
Yeah, I mean, just complete momentum swing after that first round coming through from Rozo Paradox. It just seems like nothing can stop them right now. Even though they look to be getting, fast flanked and had to take the fights, they still end up winning them out. ZRZ, who, no disrespect to him, not really known for shooting, is stepping up so much in this series, being a big clutch guy, and I love to see that. If Rozo Paradox is shooting like this, I don't know who's going to stop them.
It is going to be difficult, but we have seen it before where Mask are able to get their momentum going, and that all starts at a pistol round. We've seen these teams be very good at winning that anti-eco, be very good at winning that bonus, but it all starts right here. The defense here for RPX, the attack from Mask. 4 players pushing up through long. Who will find the picks? It is a big Mask victory here. It's now a 4 versus 3 favoring them as they attack this B site.
Yeah. It's a B site for free, a nothing burger on the B, and it's going to be interesting to see how Rozo Paradox will be able to retake this. Just, I believe, a Fade Eye and a Raise Nade and 2 Brim Smokes and a Molly, but he does have a Shorty. That might be a little bad.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're going to be able to pull ultimately there. Looks like they're going to play 2 through elbow, and Milkshak's going to try and play into the smoke, but the nade also being quite the kicker overall as these fights come down. It is going to be Lilac with the double, and I Drink Milk is not long for this world. And Amaterasu able to find it. It's 8-5, potentially 8-6, assuming they can win their anti-eco. I mean, Mask are not out of it just yet if they break their streak.
I mean, yes, a beautiful round from Mass. They were able to get the fights to swing their way on the B long, and that just allowed the B site to be free. And, with the Shorty, there wasn't much I Drink Milk could do on the retake, and Lilac was able to find the 2 players' elbow. A beautiful round from Mask, and beautiful shots coming out from them. I'm interested to see, can they swing this back into their favor?
Super here with the orb, has to be a bit careful because he's going to get rushed right now. Will be getting chased down by Fossey and the rest of the team, but the attack can just make all their way up through showers, and this should now be a free round here, assumably. Super is able to find a few of these picks. Will be able to find triple. Why not make it a quadra? Just kidding. Fossey will at least be able to find 1, but this round already over. A great play there, just completely rushing this A site after. Super knew exactly what was happening, so very well played from the team.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea coming out of Rozo Paradox. They have to try something with the worst weaponry. I like the play. Super was just able to get into the corner a little bit undetected and find the 3 picks. Almost found a 4th, Fozzie down to half HP. This is going to be a clean round for the side of Mask.
Hey, and we've seen this before where they're able to stack these clean runs together and really give their team a huge gun advantage. And with them keeping 4 rifles into this on to their bonus, this gets extremely interesting. It's 2 Bulldogs, it's 2 Spectres, and with Super potentially buying up into a rifle, it doesn't seem like that will be the case, but this could get extremely interesting like it did in the first half.
Yeah, Lilac only 3 points away from the showstopper. So if you are on the side of Mask, I feel like you have to try to prioritize getting that as soon as possible, because that can be a big game changer. It can give you a site for free and find a pick, so it can be huge for the side of Mask.
Now we start this round again. The defense will have majority players towards the wrong side. Of course, they can take that teleport if they need be, but for now, it's going to be ZRZ and I Drink Milk trying to defend against this very aggressive smokes being played there. So for now, the spike will be planted almost instantly, but what happens now in this 5v5 retake as everyone rotates over?
Yeah, 5v5 retake. A lot of stall coming here from the side of Mask. They do, unfortunately, use the Viper Molly, so it's really only Brimstone Molly to get them off the bomb, but it's still 5v5 nonetheless. Anything could happen.
Yeah, we are going to continue in this round, though. The spike looking to be fake planted as chaos erupts onto this site right now, and it's favoring RPX. It all leaves up the super, and in a chaotic round that I cannot observe to save my life right there. My apologies. Fossey and I Drink Milk will be the ones surviving, and no bonus will be won today.
Yeah, no bonus won today, but nonetheless, it's still a good bonus. They get 3 picks, and they will have the gun advantage on the side of Mass. So still a good round from them. You know, obviously I didn't get the round, but I still like what they did. And Fozzie now has the showstopper. I talked about how Lilac was close to it. I didn't even notice Fozzie got it that round. So a big swing for the side of Paradox.
As we look at the guns heading into this round, it is going to be 4 rifles here for RPX, and Fossey repping the showstopper and a shorty, a classic combo from this player. We'll see how well it will be ultimately used, as Volcarona is surprisingly playing very safe towards B short until the team does come around. Fossey will spot a few members out. The question is, will they go for this flash play? Will they look for this? But for now, actually, we are going to be playing a bit more clean. Showstopper will not be used just yet. We'll see how these fights look to come out, though. The flash will be used. Showstopper's coming out now. We'll be able to find the first, but Fossey won't be able to let it rip. And it's going to be trades back and forth. Piff now alone towards this B site as the rocket is no more. But for now, the attack will be stifled, but Piff is not out of the woods just yet, alone against Amaterasu. Whoever wins this fight wins the round, and Piff will be able to find it and is looking for more. Actually, Volcarona can hear this. What will Hookah happen now? Will be able to find it. It's all up to Superman Super, and now a 1 versus 2. Has to be wary of any player that could have rotated. Has to be wary of anything around this map. No ultimates available in this round, but with that teleport, is just going to take the gamble, saying both of these players are here and will be 100% correct. Won't spot anything out with that Viper's, or with that Snake Bite, as just completely spotted out. Now, what can you do? Will be pushed into a fight, and ZRZ finishes it off. A great round here for the Fade, and it is going to be RPX winning 2 in a row.
The Clutch Master ZRZ does it again. It's really unfortunate for the side of Paradox that they didn't get to, you know, shoot the result, but nonetheless, the fights sort of evened out, and then Piff found that huge double to just win them the round almost for the side of RPX. Coming in here, they're 1 away from your roll, 2 away from Fade Ult, and 1 away from the Viper's Pit for the side of RPX.
Yeah, but now Mask, of course, they are in the back seat, but ultimates are starting to come up for them. There are some coming up for RPX as well, but there's potentially 3 in their hands this round. If they can get Lilac and Orb, if they can prioritize that, or even the Dimensional Drift here for Amaterasu, things could get very interesting if they can get themselves back in this game. We'll see if they can, though, as it is going to be a slow start overall for them, as look at Brimstone just waiting in the back of spawn, waiting for any of these fights to start for RPX. I mean, hey, they're expecting Mass to go fast. That has been their MO, but will slowly make their way towards A. It is going to be that A hit. 2 players playing in showers, make things interesting. Santi does have a stinger as well, as now they're in trouble. They're actually getting flanked quite hard. Stinger won't be able to find a kill just yet, and will eventually fall as the trades favor RPX for now. And I Drink Milk also isn't able to find a kill, but will have full utility to still potentially use in this 3 versus 4.
A little bit whiffy from I Drink Milk. The bomb goes down for the side of Mask, and it just looks to be that they might be able to close this round out. Hit finds a beautiful pick, though.
Volcarona trying to find I Drink Milk, cannot do it just yet, but will eventually be able to find Fossey. Piff, though, with the trade, makes things slightly more interesting, but I Drink Milk able to find another. It's all up to Baby Daniel. We said this so many times in the last map. Now, who will be able to fight it? Baby Daniel has to push into this Viper's Pit. Does not know if it's being defused. And Piff with another triple will end this round. It's 11-7. RPX are slowly looking to move their way to the next round.
Yeah, I guess, you know, never say never. RPX pulls out a beautiful round. It's the Viper's Pit from Piff that turns it into their favor. I mentioned that they have that, or they run away from it. I can't remember. But he gets it, nonetheless, he gets it down, and it wins them the round because Baby Daniel G is just cut off from the rest of his team. But looking towards the side of Mask, 1 away from the Fatal, and then they'll have every single ultimate ability. And these are some heavy hitting ults that you have on the side of Mask.
Yeah, I mean, almost 5 available. Is there really win condition to get back into this game? We'll see if they are ever able to use them as an outlaw for Argent Milk has so many targets to use into this round. Of course, some very early ultimates will be used here. The Orbital Strike will just clear out that U-Haul position, and hey, they're able to get the spike down once again. We've seen Mask get the spike down so many times, so easily and uncontested. Will they be able to hold off this time around? The Nightfall and the counter Nightfall will hit, all favoring Mask for now. Of course, they are able to actually hit people with it. Dimensional Drift will spot out all 4 players, though. They don't know where the last Brimstone is, but will it be enough? Santi pushes out, able to find one. Will be able to find a double. Will it be enough now? And now a 3 versus 3. Amaterasu playing late towards it. ZRZ will be able to find another pick as well. Baby Daniel now has to try and help the rest of the team in a 2 versus 2 as the bomb being stuck. ZRZ will eventually fall, and so will Santi. Mask rally back with the round. It was close, but is won by Wildcards.
Yeah, investing 3 ultimates from the side of Mask, but investing, I believe, 2 ultimates from the side of Paradox. So a little bit of an even trade. They still do have the Viper's Pit and the Raze ult. So beautiful round from Mask there. They used their ults, at a good point. The counter fatal I really think was a good idea, as well as Baby Daniel G late showers, backstabbing, finding I believe a pick, and sort of just won them the round a little bit.
Yeah, it's now going to force an eco on to Paradox, so a pretty good opportunity for Mask overall to just try and increase their rounds just to try and slightly get back into it. And of course, Fossey actually pushing so far forward, gets caught quite a bit, will be able to find one. Piff looking for another, but they will all get traded out. Lilac will pick up a double on the round, and that should do it. A great play there from Mask, being able to find their shots, and it's going to be 4 players heading onto the site as 2 players look for the slow flank and maybe a special round.
Hey, never say never. We've seen crazier things. A 2v4 retake coming out of here from Paradox. They look to both be flanking, but splitting up. I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, look to be regrouping back long.
Yeah, and I believe they actually were heard, and definitely with those footsteps, they know exactly where these players are at, or at least one of them ultimately is, as Amaterasu not actually watching the right angle for now. Will eventually throw that smoke back, but might fall. Will not just yet. ZRZ will be able to find one, but Lilac with a triple on the round finishes it all up. It's 11-8, and this game is quite close, but can Mask get it done? They have 2 big ultimates. They have the only ultimates at the moment available, as we're getting our second timeout for Paradox.
I mean, yeah, can Piff work his magic in this timeout again? We saw it on the first one. They took, what, 7 rounds in a row? 8 rounds in a row?
It was 8, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, 8 rounds in a row. They obviously can't do that this time. The most round of roads they can take is 2. But if they get 2 rounds, the map's over. And the series is over. And they move on and advance. So looking towards the side of Paradox, 1 away from Brimstone ult, 3 away from the Raze ult. And Mask is not particularly close to anything outside of the Yoru ult, but they still do have that Viper's Pit and the Showstopper. Like I mentioned last round, 2 huge ults that they can use. They can use the Showstopper to get on site and the Viper's Pit to lock it down. I think that might be what they do this round.
I'm really looking at Lilac coming into this round right here. 14, 12, and 4. Not the best KD in the world, but I mean, this player is always amazing. Usually my series MVP pick whenever I do watch Mask win. So we'll see what this Raze can do with the Showstopper and with the rifle in general. They also contain that econ lead heading into this next round, which makes things a bit harder for RPX, because if they lose it, they're back straight onto an eco. But if Mask lose it, they're straight back to buy in next round anyways, so they still have that economy advantage. This game is not over based off of that advantage right now, so I'm intrigued to see what RPX decide to do after that timeout. Have a very good win rate like you mentioned before, so what will Mask look to do to try and combat the timeout advantage RPX potentially just took, as it is looking like less of a attack from the defense this time.
Yeah, the past 3-4 rounds they've been looking to take space. This round they just decide to chill out. They understand that it might not be working in their favor as much as they thought. So let's just back up and play, a little bit more passive. And I'm interested to see how that will work, because on the double duelist, I feel like you do have to take a little bit of space still, nonetheless.
And they're actually going to hear that rotate over to the U-Haul position as they slowly make their way up here. What will I Drink Milk decide to do with this judge? Will make or break this round here for both of these teams, and will be able to find the first. Will also survive jumping out. It looks like Fossey playing the smoke, looking to try and play a bit of angles as well. Won't be able to find a kill and gets picked off by Lilac. Maybe a bit too cooking there for Fossey. And it's going to make it a 4 versus 4 as the bomb is planted as we continue into this round. U-Haul a prize position here, looking like for both teams. Showstopper will be used on a clone. That is a bit interesting, but it doesn't matter. No one is dead just yet, but gets caught out a bit. But a nice shot from Volcarona will be able to make things more interesting. Pip finds one as the trades are coming out in the favor of RPX. Baby Daniel with Amaterasu has to clutch this one. Now it's all up to Brimstone. Can you win this one out? Will be able to find the first. Finds the second. Can you find the third? So much damage dead. Xandar Z picks up a gun and loses the round. It's Baby Daniel in a 1v3 clutch. 17-12-1 as Brimstone goes.
Beautiful clutch from Baby Daniel G. Just able to isolate the 1v1s so perfectly. He isolates one, isolates another. As Zed's sticking the bomb, then Zed has to get off. Makes a little bit of a blunder by pulling his knife out. And Baby Daniel G is able to find the round for the side of Mask. And they still have the Viper's Pit, which is huge for them. And as you mentioned, the econ lead is over on the side of Mask. So Paradox will be forced to stay here.
That round right there could potentially be a nail in the coffin if this map goes to a map 3, if this series goes to map 3, my apologies. That could potentially be the do or die of what RPX needed to get themselves across the finish line. Of course, this is not over just yet. Mask have to be careful though. Santi with this Bucky won't be able to find a pick just yet. Will be able to find one. Does get out, or doesn't get out, my apologies, but will be able to give the player lead as Fossey also with the Bucky and Hookah makes things slightly more interesting. They have to be careful. Mask, they're getting cut out like crazy here, and they're finding all the picks. It's all up to Amaterasu and Fossey with the triple on the round. A crazy eco-esque round here for them will bring it to series point for Rozo Paradox.
The Bucky doing magic for them. It finds one pick on long, it gets traded out, but it finds a pick Hookah. The guy solo Hookah drops the gun to Fozzy, and Fozzy's able to find 3. And as I mentioned, on the side of Rozo Paradox, it really looks to be that they just want to use these ults. While Mask is still holding on to this Viper's Pit, I mean, they didn't really get a chance to use it last round, but nonetheless, I mean, when do you start using these ults if you're Mask?
I mean, it has to be now. If they're going to use them anytime, would be now. We'll see how this does ultimately go. Gun advantage still in Mask's hands, but will it be enough? As I Drink Milk actually just staying in the smoke, doesn't get spotted at all. But still, with the smoke being there, it doesn't necessarily mean that there is no one in it, and I Drink Milk has to be extremely careful of that right when it starts dissipating. Or actually, it will stop the dissipation, of course. And I believe the timing was fine enough to be able to continue in it. So they just have to continue being scared and cautious as I Drink Milk just hiding in it, looking to give their team across the finish line to bring themselves to the losers final. But for now, Mask continuing, hiding, not pushing out whatsoever. And Dry Drink Milk will be able to find the first. Orbital Strike will come out as well, as will be traded out eventually on the other side. Super now might be having a bit of an issue. Dimensional Drift will be used as the player advantage. It's a 4 versus 2. Mask are playing with their lives now. The flank from Piff won't be able to find a kill just yet, but it is all on Baby Daniel. Will be able to find the first. Can you find anything else? Piff will destroy the chances of Mask wildcards, and Rozo Paradox are moving on to the losers finals against Ice Fishers.
It's a beautiful flank from Piff to close out the game, and a beautiful map from the side of Rozo Paradox. Started down 4 rounds, got 7, swung back a little bit into the favor of Mask, and then Rozo Paradox was able just to close it out. Beautiful from them, and a beautiful series overall, and they will be moving on to go play a BO3 against Ice Fishers.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean,
You pick. We don't care. You pick someone.
just do Fia since I don't have perms. Yeah, we'll do a quick interview, you know, just ask a quick quick little question or so. And since I don't have movement perms, I'm just gonna get Fossey to do it since it's just much easier that way. And he does win the series MVP as well for his performance overall. And oh, it's actually going to be Santi. Hello, Santi.
Hello.
Hi, Santi. Congratulations on the win. I just have a few questions for you. But first, is there anything you'd like to say?
It's a really great game from us. We came in here fully thinking we were gonna 2-0, and we did. I mean, we knew they were a pretty bad team to start with, so
Okay, a little bit of trash talk. So for my first question, you went from the Yoru and the Chamber, a two little bit different play styles, and yet you still managed to find, decent picks and a decent game on both of them. So how was that transition? Did you feel any difference, or did you just play your game?
I mean, there's a bit difference playing the Yoru from the Chamber because I have to be like play more of a crucial role in our entry and our site takes, but overall not too different. Still can work with my TPs. I think I'm pretty good at flexing around, so
Yes, of course. And just, if you can, give me a little insight on what the game plan was. Was there anyone you were targeting maybe to like hit, or was it just, overall you guys just thought you were the better team and so you kind of just did whatever you want?
kind of just did whatever we want. I mean, we were a bit lost 4 rounds in that game, but we called a timeout and just went 8 straight rounds on attack. And we really just started out reading them and felt like they didn't really know what to do on our attack half.
Yes, of course. Oh, you
Nice.
go, Rhodes.
I'll ask a few now before I close it out. It is, how do you feel first of all? Just a bit of a silly one here. How do you feel about your ace being stolen by ZRZ when it was
Well,
so
I'm
clearly easy for you?
or don't start me on that. He he peeked him fully knowing I was on that 4K. I could have gotten the ace. Was going straight on Twitter if I did, but no, ZRZ has to take that shit. So it's a bit annoying, but anything for the team, I guess.
Hey, and since it was a 2-0, you guys still have an hour and a 23 essentially till the next series that you will be playing tonight. But what are your thoughts heading back into a series against Ice Fishers? You guys versed them in the regular season. Now you verse them again now. Do you have any thoughts heading into the quote unquote juggernauts of that team?
I mean, it was a bit disappointing losing the first round of playoffs, but I know we fully should have won that. We had a sub that time, and now we're going into this one like full force. I think we're fully capable of winning. We almost beat them last time too. Barely won on our sunset.
Hey,
So I feel good, very good.
I am very excited to watch you guys again, but thank you very much for this interview, Santi. I'm excited to watch you very, very soon tonight for your lives once more. And you guys, of course, have not as much pressure as them to perform with all the momentum you've gathered. But thank you very much for this interview, and thank you all for watching this stream. We'll be back with you in 90 minutes for our losers final in our second last series of Boba Bash. We'll see you very soon.
Shout out Piff and Ben.